Hi, everybody, and welcome to another webinar from the Royal Neighbors Foundation. My name is Lauren Lyons Cole. I'm a certified financial planner based in New York City, but I provide financial education for women nationwide, and I'm very proud to partner with the Royal Neighbors Foundation since we are like-minded and share that mission. Today, even though it has been such a dark, dreary, cold winter, we are trying to brighten things up, and we'll be talking about spring cleaning for your finances. So this is a great topic. It applies every single year, but we've got your top to-do list for 2014 as the weather starts to get a little bit warmer here. Let's all hope, right? Yeah. So as women, we are so busy. These pictures might look familiar to you. If you're someone who uses the calendar, which busy people often have to use a calendar to keep track of everything that's going on, right? I mean, it's just full of stuff between things for the kids, work responsibilities, other family obligations. We are really, really busy. So it's important to find time for yourself to sit down, put the kids outside or, give yourself a break and let yourself have time to just focus on your finances. So that's what we want to talk about today. Find a little quiet time. I like to tell people to schedule a brunch with yourself. Sit down on Saturday morning or Sunday morning and make yourself a really nice breakfast. Do something that makes it a little bit more fun to look closely at your money. So what are the top 3 things to do this spring? Spring cleaning is always a great time to simplify, organize, clear out the clutter. So that's what we'll start with. You can do that for your closet. You can also do it for your money. It's also a really important time to protect what you care about. Spring is a time of revitalization. Everything outside is looking beautiful and new, and let's make sure that everything we care about is also protected so that it can flourish, just like the flowers outside. And then spring, we've got to also look to summer and think about how much money we're going to be spending and how we can make sure that we've got the money to do all the things we want to do when summer arrives. So organizing and simplifying your accounts, I think this is a really good place to start because there's nothing hard involved here. We've got a great checklist for you. You can look at this checklist and reference all of the important financial documents that you need to have. Your bank account statements, a lot of times these are online, which is totally fine. You just need to know where to find them in case you do need to reference them. Your recent pay stubs, your tax returns, your insurance documents, very important. All your retirement statements, any loan statements, organize them. This is sort of cathartic in a way because you get to see, what do you have? Where are you starting from? What is available to you? What do you owe? What do you need to update? This is a really good starting point. Go ahead and do this. In fact, if it's more fun, go buy one of those fancy, folding envelopes or whatever so you can keep track of all this stuff, or create documents online. Whatever works for you, just get organized. One quick smart money tip that I want to make sure to mention is if you are using online banking or online accounts for any of your financial documents, please make sure to use secure passwords. This is another really easy task. So if you're using, I forget the percentage, but a large amount of Americans use the password, like just the word password as their password. That is a terrible idea. And if you are one of those people, or if you have a very simple password like that, please take the time to go in and change it. You should do this. Make it part of your spring cleaning for your finances. It's very, very important. Now, once you've kind of figured out what you've got, you've organized all your statements, you see your bank accounts, you know what you owe, everything's in order, you can sort of start to evaluate and decide whether or not what you're working with is what is right for you. Now, checking and savings accounts. This is a huge one. I get really irritated when I see that people are paying bank fees. The bank is lucky to have you as a customer. You have to realize this. They are very lucky to have your business, no matter how much money or how little money you may have. So the first thing to do is find out if you're paying bank fees. And if you are, consider going elsewhere. Plenty of banks, especially the online banks like Ally or Capital One 360, offer free online checking and savings accounts. And if you have a smartphone, which many people do, you can even deposit checks just by taking a photo on your smartphone. You can use any ATM, literally any ATM, and they refund you the fees. So there's a lot of benefits to switching to a bank that respects you as a customer and gives you the benefit of not having to pay them. I mean, that's just silly. So look into that first and foremost. One thing to also realize, a lot of people hesitate to change banks because they think about credit cards. And with credit cards, the advice is correct. You don't want to open and close accounts every year. But with checking accounts, nobody checks, no one is tracking this. It doesn't impact your credit score. It literally doesn't matter. So if you don't like your bank, if you're not happy with them, you can go open a new bank account and it doesn't make a difference. So don't worry about it. If you're like, oh, I'm not sure, is this bad if I'm changing bank accounts? No, it's not bad. You deserve to have a bank that treats you with respect. The other thing is if you're one of those people that has bank accounts at a bunch of different banks, like $100 here, $300 here, do yourself a favor. Make your life simple and bring it all to one bank account. This is especially easy these days with online transfers. I mean, you can open a bank account online. You can transfer your money from other banks online. It's all very, very easy. If it's a little bit difficult for you, you can always call the customer service representatives and have them help you. They're happy to help. And usually bank customer service representatives are very nice. It's not like calling some places like the cable company where the customer service reps are a little bit agitated. So always feel free to call the customer service reps. Don't be afraid to do that. Ask for help. Simplify your accounts. Don't pay fees. All great to-do list items for this spring. Now, let's take a look at retirement accounts on the flip side. Hopefully you're saving money for retirement, whether in a 401k or in an IRA. And if you are saving money, there are some important things that you need to do. Some things are a one-time only affair. Some things you need to do every year. If you've changed jobs recently, which a lot of people have, you might have an old 401k account sitting around somewhere. If that's the case, you can actually roll over that account into your current 401k plan or into an IRA. The reason to do this is because it's helpful to have all your money in one place. You certainly don't want to get to retirement and realize that you left money from some job you had in your 30s that you forgot to collect. Don't do that. Keep track of your money, keep up with it, keep it current, put it all into your current 401k, open a rollover IRA if you have to. This is something you can definitely look online for articles to help with this process. And again, you can always call customer service representatives. It takes a little bit of paperwork, but it really makes your life easier in the long run. That's a great spring to-do list item if you haven't done that yet. Another thing is to make sure your beneficiaries are up to date on your retirement plan. So if you've had a new child or if things in your family have changed, make sure that the beneficiaries that you've got assigned to your retirement account are the correct ones. That's another super easy thing to do. If you need help allocating your investments, especially with a 401k, don't be afraid to go ask your HR department who can help you. Usually they have a contract with a company that will give you advice for free, so it's silly not to take advantage of it. Or you can read online or do whatever you need to do. But first and foremost, if you have a 401k, go ask HR, who can I get investment advice from? It's totally worth it to take advantage of free advice, especially if it's one of your work benefits. And of course, the easiest thing you could possibly do, though it might not be the funnest, would be to go to HR and increase your contribution to your 401k. Now, if you're already struggling and feeling like you can't possibly save anymore, do something small. Just increase it by 1%. You won't notice, I promise. If you feel like you could do a little bit more, up it by 5%. Go for 10%. Push yourself as hard as you can. As long as you're not ending up using credit cards to make up the difference, saving for retirement is something that no one ever regrets doing. So increase your contribution this spring. Another great to-do list item. Once you've sort of cleaned up your accounts and gotten them organized and made sure that your bank is treating you correctly, the next step is really to protect what you care about. So once you're organized, you move on to protecting. And there's a lot of different ways you can protect what you care about, but there are three main things when it comes to your finances. Number one is to create an emergency fund. Number two is to review your insurance coverage. And number three is to maximize your retirement savings. So how do we do these things, and how do we break these down into small bite-sized pieces that you can really implement today? So if you're watching this webinar, I'm sure you can do at least one of these things, okay? So let's start with an emergency fund. An emergency fund is pretty popular. You probably hear about it a lot in the media. And it basically breaks down to being a savings account that has about 6 months worth of living expenses saved up. Now you do this because, God forbid, you go through a period of unemployment, or you go through a tough time of some other sort, or if you need to replace your refrigerator or the AC in your car. These are things that are unexpected, large expenses, and we hope that they don't happen. But it gives you a sort of peace of mind if you know that if they do happen, you're not going to be out in the cold. You're going to have some way to afford these sorts of temporary situations. And that's what an emergency fund is really for. It's protecting what you care about, because it's protecting your peace of mind. And it's also just making sure that, you'll be able to do what you need to do. So like I said, 6 months of living expenses sounds like this kind of arbitrary number. A lot of people ask me, but okay, how am I supposed to know what 6 months of? I don't even know what my living expenses are. In order to calculate this, there's a really quick and easy way. It's not a perfect science, but you can but it's easy. Take your rent or your mortgage payment and multiply that by 2.5. That's going to give you a very rough estimate of what your average monthly expenses are. So if your rent or mortgage payment is $1,000, multiply it by 2.5 and you get $2,500. So that's 1 month, approximately 1 month, right? Multiply that by 6 to get the 6-month minimum, and that actually calculates out to $15,000. This number sounds really intimidating to a lot of people, and it's a goal. It's really important to stress this. You're not going to save $15,000 overnight. You're not going to save $15,000 in a year. You might not even do it in 5 years. That's okay. It's just a goal. So, with your savings account, sometimes you can give them little nicknames on your bank website. Give your savings account the emergency fund nickname. Right in there, $15,000 is my goal. Work towards it. You don't have to reach it anytime soon, but just know that that's the direction that you're aiming. It's a really, really good goal to have. Speaking of the savings account, make sure that your emergency fund is in a safe place, like a high yield savings account, something at your bank, money market fund, a certificate of deposit, something that you're not going to lose that $15,000 once you get to the goal. Don't put it in the stock market. Don't put it under a mattress. Don't put it anywhere risky. Don't lend it to your neighbor and get it back with interest. No, just put it into your savings fund. That's the best bet for your emergency fund. So that's the first way to protect what you care about. The next thing is to review your insurance coverage. This is something that a lot of people, it's like when you buy a new car, you get insurance because you're supposed to, and then you don't think about it again. The thing with insurance is you need to stay current on your policies and what your needs are. So it's really important to go back once a year and make sure that you are managing all of your risk, which is essentially what insurance is. Insurance is just a tool to manage your risk. So every single person needs to have health insurance. That's a risk we cannot manage on our own. We need health insurance. Same thing goes for disability insurance. You might get disability insurance through work, so you might not need outside insurance, disability insurance, but that's something to look into. If you have children, or if you take care of an elderly parent or a sibling or anyone who depends on you, then you absolutely need life insurance. That means your life is valuable, not just to you, but also to someone else. So you need to insure your life, just for the risk that that person who depends on you would still be taken care of if you were no longer around. You already know this. If you own a home, you need to have homeowners insurance, but you also need to review it every year. Don't just leave it as is. If you get a new piece of jewelry, for instance, or if you need to add flood coverage or something, just review your policy on an annual basis. Make sure it is still meeting your needs. If the value of your home changes, your coverage might change. It's not a static thing. This is really dynamic, so stay on top of it. If you have an apartment and you're renting, please, please, please get renter's insurance. This is so cheap. At most, it's like $30 a month. And this protects you in the case of, if you leave your shower running overnight accidentally and flood your bathroom and ruin your neighbor's apartment, you'll have insurance to cover you against that liability. Or if if someone breaks into your apartment, or if your apartment burns down, you need to know that if something really extreme happens, that you will not be going into financial stress to take care of yourself. Okay, so if you're a renter, please look into renter's insurance. And of course, if you have a car, you know you need auto insurance. Just, again, review it. Make sure it's still meeting your needs. Retirement savings. This is such a big topic. We have just proven over and over and over again that as Americans, we are not good at saving for retirement. And I don't know what the mental block is that we have against this, but it is so important. I know that we have lots of competing financial demands, right? We've got to pay for the kids' daycare, we've got to buy groceries, we've got to pay for gas, which keeps going up in price. It's important to take family vacations. All of these things are so important. College, you know, parents who have college-age kids very generously want to help their kids with college. But the thing is, there are loans for pretty much everything in life except for retirement. So retirement is the one financial responsibility that we absolutely cannot overlook. It is so important that you're saving properly for retirement. So if you have one goal that you walk away from this webinar with for spring 2014, it should be to focus on your retirement savings. You can use a calculator. There's lots of good ones online. In fact, AARP has a pretty interesting one, and the Royal Neighbors Foundation has plenty of calculators as well. So you can go to their website, punch in some numbers, and figure out what your savings goal needs to be. Now, if you work somewhere where your employer matches your 401k, please make sure that you're taking advantage of that. That is free money. So at the very least, take advantage of the match from your employer's 401k. Go into HR, tell them, take my money, whatever, if I have to contribute 3%, 6%, whatever it is, get the full match. After that, you might want to consider putting any extra dollars into an IRA, particularly a Roth IRA is very helpful. Depending on your age, it's a great, for young people, usually under 40, but even some people above 40. The Roth IRA is a really, really great savings account. So you could consider balancing both the 401k match from your employer and a Roth IRA. There are income limits with the Roth IRA, but generally speaking, this is achievable for most people. And then, you know, if you're really doing well this year and you can contribute even more, go back to your 401k. If you're over 50, you can actually contribute up to $23,000 this year to your 401k. So this is not small potatoes. I mean, this is like really, really huge opportunity. These are tax advantage savings. It's savings that you're actually, you know, in the end, you're kind of winning by saving for retirement on many levels. Now, if you're a new business owner, if you're a small business owner, if you're self-employed, there are lots of interesting opportunities for you to save for retirement, as well as protect some of the, you know, the revenue that you're making from the business. So you definitely want to check out a SEP IRA, SEP-IRA, which is a really easy tool for self-employed people to stock away money for retirement. It's a great option. So look into that if you've started your own business. Now, once you've gotten through all the tough, real financial details, you know, we've gotten organized, we've protected everything, you're going to be feeling really good. You're going to be feeling like, oh, look how clean my finances are. I like this spring thing. And inevitably, you're going to want to celebrate, right? So that leads me to talking about the summer spending surge. The holidays and summertime are both the times where suddenly we have all sorts of unexpected expenses. And this makes me laugh because if we know every year summer and the holidays are going to be expensive, then they're not really unexpected expenses. They're expected. So we can plan for these expenses. There's no reason for you to feel stressed out or like you have to miss out on certain fun activities in the summer just because you don't have the money available. Prepare ahead of time. This is perfect timing, actually, because you might be getting a tax refund. Great way to jumpstart your summer savings. Take the tax refund, pop it into your emergency fund, or pop it into your summer savings fund, or split it 50-50, and get ready for all those extra expenses that are inevitably going to come up in the summertime. So don't spend your tax refund. Put it aside for even more fun. I mean, you're going to spend it ultimately, but you're going to spend it on something even more fun than, you know, just going and buying yourself a nice new pair of shoes. So your tax refund is a great way to get prepared for the summer spending surge. The other thing that a lot of people forget to do is to review your monthly expenses. So if your cable company is charging you through the nose for, you know, all the premium channels or whatever it is that you're getting, call them and threaten to take your business elsewhere and see if you can get a better deal. inevitably you're going to be able to. If not, consider canceling. There's no harm in canceling. Sign up for Netflix. It's like $10 a month, and you can watch pretty much everything that you might be watching through cable. So that's something to consider. If you have a gym membership that you're seriously not using, maybe you signed up for it in January. If it's $50, $60 a month, consider canceling that as well. That is found money for you. It's excellent. So, I mean, even your cell phone plans, anything that you're paying on a monthly basis, look at those expenses. And if you can cut back on those, that's where you really see a difference in your budget. Saving on groceries is great, but that's not a consistent every single month savings. You know, you might save a few dollars this week and a few dollars next week, but if you can save on your cell phone bill, save on your cable bill, save on your gym bill, these are the things where it really starts to make a difference in your savings account. So when, you know, if you cancel cable, if you have $100 extra a month, put it towards your summer savings account so that when summer comes around, you've got money there to go out and enjoy all of the super fun things that we desperately deserve after surviving this horrible winter, right? So one other thing, which is in line with spring cleaning that you can consider doing, and this is one of my favorite ways to find extra money in your house. Look through your closets, look through your kitchen cabinets, look through your house and find things that you don't want anymore. Old cell phones are particularly great. Old appliances, you know, if you bought a juicer because you thought you were going to start like making juices and then you realized they're a pain to clean, sell the juicer on eBay or have a yard sale. Sell old DVDs. One man's trash is another man's treasure, right? So you never know how much money you can make. If you've got old jewelry, maybe from an ex, and jewelry you never wear anymore that doesn't even have a good meaning for you, sell it. Sell it. It's a great idea. Raise some extra money for yourself, and then take yourself on vacation. Go to the Bahamas or Jamaica or something this summer. You'll totally be glad that you did. And I mean, the other benefit is that you're actually doing spring cleaning. So spring cleaning and spring cleaning for your finances all at the same time, with the reward of enjoying your summer vacation even more. So, and you can actually apply this to summer, but also keep it in mind for the holiday season. These big spending seasons are not unexpected. They're not surprises. We know they're coming, so prepare in advance. So this spring, get your stuff organized. Make sure that all of your checking accounts, your retirement accounts, everything is nice, clean, organized. Make sure everything's protected. Take care of your insurance. Take care of your emergency fund. Take care of your retirement accounts. And then reward yourself by focusing on summer savings goals so that you can go and enjoy and have fun once this weather gets a little bit better. So that's our spring cleaning for your finances this year. Those are your 2014 to-do list items, but again, they can apply every year. So be sure to revisit this every spring. Revisit the organizing, protecting, and preparing that we talked about today. I'm Lauren Lyons Cole, happy to partner with the Royal Neighbors Foundation to bring financial education to women nationwide. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you have any questions, you can always reach us. Just visit theroyalneighborsfoundation.org, send us an email, check out the articles and the calculators. Thanks so much.